If off late sleep has become your biggest enemy, you may need a faithful friend in Wakefit. Chaitanya Ramalingegowda, co founder and director of the company, which specializes in sleep solutions and a whole range of furniture and decor, is with us here. Welcome, Chaitanya.
Thanks for having me, Neeta.
Forgive me for that rather unimaginative opening line and the terrible delivery, but thank you for joining us.
Not at all. Good fun to be here.
Okay. And talking about creativity, I think Wakefit is known for its very, very witty advertising. Be it the proposition of sleep interns or that very clever messaging, the welcome message for IKEA when they just came into Bangalore about 2 years ago. I think, do you feel a relatively young brand? I mean, you're less than 10 years old, so I'm going to call you relatively young. That is that the only way to stand out in the market through witty advertising?
I don't know if it's the only way, but for us, it's always worked. And the reason is that we always ensure that the marketing department had followed two or three things as part of the DNA right from the beginning. Number one was to entertain because nobody wants to be bored with a preachy brand. And number two, to always leave a nugget of knowledge in the campaigns. Uh,
Mhm.
Anything about sleep quality, how it improves performance, how it improves your day, the REM and non-REM sleep. So there's a nugget of sort of a knowledge embedded in those campaigns. So we've always followed those two. And as a young brand, the lack of a legacy is actually the blessing because
Mhm.
you end up pushing the envelope on things that other big brands might think twice about. So we like to take things head on. We like to have fun with the marketing, and historically we've observed that whenever the team has had fun conceptualizing something, invariably that does become viral. So it's a good barometer of what's going on in the audience's mind and what they might resonate with.
Also, you've chosen a great creative agency. So, big shout out to Arun Nair there and Spring Marketing Capital.
Yes, Spring
Okay.
has been our partner from 2019. Yeah, they've been
Wow.
working with us together.
Wow. Wow. Also, BigFit has adopted the zero-based budgeting approach for marketing. Could you give us a sense of how you really decide this year on year and what percentage of your overall revenue have you devoted to advertising in the past few years?
It varies. Even if you look at the last 8 years, every single year, the budget percentage has varied. But what
Mhm.
I want to say is the marketing as a percentage of net revenue has always been in the low single digit as a percentage.
Mhm.
And when you asked about zero-based budgeting, that's been our DNA. If you have to also look at the context of Ankit and me, both of us being failed entrepreneurs in the past, we
Mhm.
don't like to throw money at a problem. We don't like to solve problems with money first approach. So we like to solve problems through first principles, and then we are very aggressive with spending money once the solution is clear. So
Mhm.
the reason why zero-based budgeting also came into play is right from the beginning, we used to get all kinds of marketing agencies, creative agencies, performance marketing agencies, media agencies, influencer agencies. Every single person would reach out and they would say, "Tell us your budget, we will design a campaign for it."
Mhm.
Which used to really surprise us because we used to say that the strength of the idea is most important and the budget will earn itself.
Mhm.
Because if an idea is good, we will spend crores on it. If the idea
Mhm.
is not good, we would not even spend 1 rupee on it. There's no point saying that I'll give you a 20 lakh budget and you design a campaign suited for that, which is very counterintuitive. Most agencies think like that. They say, give me the budget, we'll come back to you with solutions. While
Right.
we never resonated with that. So that has become part of our DNA to say, come with an idea, evaluate the idea, figure out the potential, do some testing, and then if we are having a lot of conviction, then put all the capital behind it and don't hold back on anything. But if it is not, then don't even spend 1 rupee on it.
Okay. And what also the logic behind putting Ayushman into the equation and putting your strength and money behind a brand ambassador of sorts.
Right. So Ayushman is our second brand ambassador. In 2021, no, 2022, when we wanted to first time try out a brand ambassador, we chose Rashmika Mandana, who's now shot into fame through Animal.
Mhm.
with Ranbir Kapoor, and she was only very popular in the four southern states.
Mhm.
And we felt that given that we are very strong in the four southern states, and she was making her Bollywood debut at that time, I think with the movie called Goodbye with Amitabh Bachchan.
Right, right.
So we said that's a good bet to say that would brand ambassadors work for us or not. And
Mhm.
the partnership was very, very good. And she generated a lot of awareness, a lot of interest in the brand. And we ran that for a year. And more and more brand tracks clearly showed that we were fairly well known, good awareness, good consideration in South India. And we needed a lot more coverage on the north because we historically grew from the southern part of the country. So
Mhm.
that's we did a lot of research and again chose somebody who's like us. Ayushman is known as Mr. Original. Uh,
Mhm.
he's not grown through any specific godfathers or industry house backing, but he came from roadies, middle class family.
Mhm.
Then became a VJ. From there, he became a singer. From there, he became an actor. Then, more importantly, in the recent times, he's reinvented himself. First, it was only social messages, then it's entertainment, then it is something else. So we the same. We started with mattresses, became sleep, became furniture, became home. So we felt that there were a lot of commonalities. So we did that research, and we have very deep conviction, and we the relationship is still ongoing, and the first year of that relationship is now about to end. But we will be continuing for some more time with him.
Oh, fabulous. And as you just spoke, about 3 years ago, I think you decided to expand into the furniture and home decor space. Was that a natural extension for a mattress brand? And also, how did you decide to tackle competition from established names in the space like Pepperfry, Urban Ladder, IKEA also, which kind of entered the market recently in Bangalore, but it was there in India before that. So, how did you decide to go about that?
We have been mostly led by our consumers, Neeta. So we were very happy doing mattresses. Then consumers started asking for bed sheets, pillows, chat messages, WhatsApp messages, requests on the website. So then that's how we had gotten into bed sheets, accessories, comforters, and so forth. And similarly, in 2019-20, people started asking for, hey, we bought the mattress from you, and where would you recommend we buy a bed from? Where would you recommend we buy a side table next to the bed from? Uh, so we were very naive. We thought that the same success that came in mattresses could be replicated very easily in furniture. And we jumped in and we set up a small furniture unit and we started selling. But then we realized that furniture is a very different beast. Uh, People require a lot more choice. Delivery is not just delivery, but you have to deliver and install in the consumer's home. So you need carpenters, so on and so forth. So that way, the business itself was very different. But over the last 4 years, we've learned our way through that. And it wasn't a natural extension at all. Consumers asked, we felt that we could try. We wanted to go beyond mattresses and serve more of the consumer's needs. So it was a coming together of multiple factors, which then became sort of a core business line, so to speak, today.
It was more like an on-demand expansion, which
Yeah.
you kind of agreed to.
Yes, yes, yes.
Also, Wakefit has recently launched its Happy Home Index Report 2024. Now, it very well covers all aspects of your business in a very clever way using examples. Now, as a reflection of the evolving Indian home, tell us how you're going to use some of the findings to sort of address the consumer's needs.
Great. I don't know if you're aware, we've been doing something called the Great Indian Sleep Scorecard, GISS, and it is released every year on World Sleep Day in March sometime. This year, World Sleep Day is coming on March 15th. And every year we've done this where the idea is to throw spotlight on the fact that people today are sleep deprived. Uh,
Mhm.
the CEO of Netflix goes on air in public and says Netflix's main competitor is not another OTT platform, it is sleep.
Yeah.
We want them to watch more, consume more content, and become hooked to our platform. So, from a technology platform like that to your work pressures, to your stress, to your kids, to you being on the phone, there's been a whole amount of changes that have happened in the 8 years that we've done it. and we'll be launching the seventh edition of GISS in March. So the idea of doing that was not to say that what can we benefit from it and what products we can launch. And very similarly, in Happy Home Index, the idea was not to say that what data can we take in order to create new products or serve their needs. The idea was to say that what should be the people's relationships with their homes, what
Mhm.
is considered healthy, what is not considered healthy, what role does furniture and decor play in self expression, because
Mhm.
our studies showed that the home serves two clear purposes. Purpose
Okay.
number one is to say that this is a shelter, a safe space for me from the rest of the world. So when I'm done with my day, from work, from traffic, from battling my boss, to all of those things, at the end of the day, this is my safe space where I can come home and relax.
Mhm.
Second purpose that the home serves is as a place for self-expression. And
Mhm.
this has become more and more pronounced after the COVID pandemic, where people say that, hey, this is my reading nook in the house.
Mhm.
This is where I like to sit and lounge with my partner, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend. This is the place where I would like to entertain my guests. This is
Mhm.
how my pet has a very specific space and role to play in my life. My pet is not just an animal, it's a part of my family.
Mhm.
So we are learning a lot, and even the HHI Happy Home Index reflects a lot of these learnings, which show that people are much more happier with their home as they're older. For
Mhm.
example, that if you think about it, it's not a surprise because the younger you are, you're out partying. The home is just a place where you come and crash.
Crash. Yeah.
You're not really thinking deeply. So your furniture needs, your decor needs are all minimal and low cost, and you don't even have any attachment to them.
Mhm.
While the older you get, you build your home as a self-expression space to read, to listen to music, to entertain guests, and so on and so forth. Similarly, there's a very clear pattern about that was about the age. There's another pattern about gender. I don't know if
Mhm.
you saw that men are much more happy and comfortable
Mhm.
making changes in their homes as opposed to women. Uh,
Mhm.
does it go back to women not having enough mental bandwidth to think about it because they're burdened? Or
Mhm.
does it go back to them having restricted freedom in some sense subliminally? We don't know. But it's
Mhm.
very fascinating. Then you will also see that pet families are much, much more happier than families without pets.
Mhm.
And you'll also see that city-wise, there are a lot of learnings. Chennai and Mumbai have the lowest happiness score, while Hyderabad has the highest.
Mhm.
Bangalore, other cities fall somewhere in between. So the learnings are very, very fascinating to see how people interact with their homes, what they want to do there, and then finally how we can potentially help serve those needs. Because moving to a city, having a life stage event, having a baby, moving in with a live-in partner, all of those things are very anxiety inducing. Uh,
Mhm.
and so if there's a way that a brand can come and play the role of saying that, hey, it's okay, you that life stage is anxious for you, but
Mhm.
setting up your home for that life stage shouldn't be anxiety inducing. So just explore and decide, just read and decide. Our job
Mhm.
is to educate you on everything. You don't have to buy from us. Uh,
Mhm.
we are there for you as a partner. That's the approach we've taken.
And also that now that you offer a range of solutions to your customers, what are the segments that are really doing well for you, and what kind of market share do you enjoy in them?
Sure. So, for any furniture home retailer, you will find that uh, sofas, bed frames, wardrobes,
Mhm.
dining are,
Mhm.
are the four large revenue contributors.
Mhm.
It's common sense because most of these four that I said are having a higher average ticket size. While the long tail, which is shoe rack, side table, bedside table, coffee table, TV
Mhm.
units, all of those form a huge number of volume with lower average ticket size. So
Mhm.
they contribute more volumes and less value.
Mhm.
It's the same with us. With
Mhm.
us also, these four categories contribute quite a bit. And in terms of market share, we honestly don't have an idea because the overall furniture market is supposed to be anywhere between 36 billion to 50 billion dollars. It's an
Mhm.
insane number. But when you peel the layers, that whole thing is completely unorganized. Uh,
Right.
if you just take the branded mattress and not forget mattress, branded furniture companies,
Furniture space.
you will see that they're barely about $3 to $5 billion. So it's a large space to organize. So market share might not be meaningful, not just for us, but for any company.
Okay. And what about the just the mattress space? Where do you stand there?
Mattress space, our rough estimates are that we probably own about one third of the online space. Uh,
Mhm.
but we don't know how much share we capture in the overall mattress because even there, about 50% of it is unorganized.
Also from an online only brand, you transition to having 50 plus stores. I think that was the last count. I'm not sure if you've added more on the way. Uh, Around 29, 30 cities. With COVID behind us and yours being a high investment category, do you think offline can never lose its prominence? I mean, that touch and feel factor does come into play.
You're absolutely right. It's not that online you cannot survive. It's not
Hmm.
that online you cannot grow because the online channel is still growing and very, very healthily so. In double digits, it's growing. But in offline, you see that the behavior is vastly different. You'll see that a family of four, family of six, they all walk in
Mhm.
and they spend 45 to 60 minutes in the store. Uh,
Okay.
they sit on the products, touch on the products. The babies and the kids are jumping around on the sofas, on the recliners. The parents and grandparents are talking and making decisions. They come to the store with photos of their living room. They come to the store with photos of the other furniture that they have so that they can match. It's
Mhm.
a very involved decision. And then
Mhm.
once they do all of this, they're very willing to spend 20, 30, 40,000 rupees.
Okay.
But it's online that family discussion doesn't happen. So what they
Mhm.
do is they end up buying one product at a time, testing the brand, and
Mhm.
then 3 months later come back for the second product. 6 months later come back for the third product. But in offline, once they've spoken to the salesperson, clarified all their doubts, seen all the things that they need to match with the current decor, they're very convinced and they make the purchase for multiple items at the same time. So that way, I think the role of online is very, very strong,
Mhm.
but offline never did go away. I think, especially in our category, that plays a fairly important role, at least for the whole family to come together and decide.
But also, when it comes to online, do they prefer cheaper products? Like you said, once they've spent some 1 hour or close to 1 hour in the store. They are willing to spend more on the furniture because they know what it's going to look like. But when it comes to online, do they want to spend less money and just like you said, test waters and see what kind of quality they're going to get before they put in more?
Yeah, they're not looking for cheaper products, they're looking to buy fewer products.
Okay.
If they actually need four items, they'll only buy one,
One. Okay.
and they're
So
still
it's
paying the same
the
price for it.
cost wise they are not going to bargain, or they don't want, they're not looking for cheaper goods there.
Correct.
Okay.
But they buy one and, like you rightly said, test the brand. Oh, there was
Mhm.
a delay. So when I called, did they pick up or not? When I had a concern or escalation and I raised a ticket, did they respond or not? So they take all these signals to say that this is a trustworthy brand or not. And then they come back for the second, third, fourth purchase. While in offline, everything is sorted, doubts are cleared. I
Mhm.
see that the store is there. If something goes wrong, I can still walk in and talk to the salesperson. So my anxieties are reduced. So I'll make the purchase. So that's how they think there.
And also trying to understand, is mattress still your number one product? I mean, amongst the categories that you offer on your D2C site, is it still with regard to the revenue the number one category for you?
Absolutely.
It is okay. And just trying to understand, do you think the USP is also the low price point because you offer your mattresses for as low as 3-5 thousand, which is rather rare in the business for an organized player. So, firstly, how you doing that, and is that really your USP?
So the 3-5 thousand that you're, I don't think we have any products for 3-4 thousand, but a queen size mattress for the really, really high end orthopedic memory foam would only cost about 9-10 thousand rupees with us. While the same product with an organized retailer would cost anywhere from 20 to 25,000. And the reason for that is that uh, the specifications of our products are better. We have a 10-year warranty, we have a 100-day trial. But the reason for that affordable price point is because we don't have any middlemen.
Okay.
In a traditional retailer, you will have a state level distributor, then region level stockist, then pin code level dealer manager, then there is a retailer. So each of these people takes a cut. They're not adding any value to the product. It's the
Mhm.
same product that left the factory is brand's factory, but and it's the same thing reaching your home, but you end up paying 40-45% more. So that is just the structure of the industry. While we said we create a kick-ass world-class product, but then sell directly to your home, and whatever savings are there, we pass it on. So for us, price and being frugal, I mean, having frugality is a very, very important thing, but that's not what we go after. What we go after is an excellent quality product. So
Mhm.
say that consumers should never think of Wakefit as use and throw. They should never think of it as, oh, it's not durable. So
Mhm.
those are really guardrails that we would never breach for any reason. Uh,
Mhm.
then at that quality spec, whatever price results from our efficient production, we pass it on to consumer. So that's been the approach rather than saying that I want to create a product for this price point, in which
Mhm.
you end up compromising on the quality.
And also that there used to be a time when Kurlon, by default was the go-to brand for mattresses, courtesy all the advertising. Now, in the past few years, you've seen the competition intensify, and a lot of new players entered the space. Who do you consider your biggest competitor? Is it the newer ones like Sleep Company or the Sleepy Cat, or the established ones like Kurlon or Duraflex?
Uh, See, I think we don't look at companies. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason for that is we are already number two or number three in India on a mattress level. So what we worry deeply about is the unorganized to organized conversion.
Mm-hmm.
So we are already number two, number three. The growth is not going to come from capturing or getting it like a zero sum game from some other competitor. They all have their own structural complexities, structural issues. We have our own growth needs. So for
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing is I told you 50% of mattress is unorganized. This
Mm-hmm.
is people who are just going to the local store and buying a gadda from some
Mm-hmm.
unbranded company. There's no label also, there's no warranty. It's
Mm-hmm.
adulterated foam, but they're going and buying it.
Hmm.
So
Because it's cheaper, yeah, for
it's
them.
cheaper, yeah.
Hmm.
And so for us, the dream is to convert more of the unorganized into organized, because that's where the best ROI for the efforts lie, not in saying that 50 crore from this competitor or 100 crore from this competitor. So our focus is very clearly, very much on converting unorganized to organized through education, through
Hmm.
actually telling them about the importance of sleep. Saying, why the hell are you buying this 5,000 rupee mattress, which has nothing?
Hmm.
Instead of that, you pay another 2,000 rupees. At 7,000, you get a really good quality 5-inch single size or the one size mattress. So that's, and you get a 10-year warranty. You get so much of a support from the brand. You get a 100-day trial. So our
Hmm.
whole job has been about educating consumers to invest in their sleep rather than thinking about any one competitor.
Fabulous. May you succeed in your endeavor to convert the unorganized sector to organized, and make sure and Wakefit is a brand that is much loved by everyone across the country, not just the South, North as well, with your new brand ambassador. Thank you so much, Chaitanya, for talking to us. It was a very candid chat, and thank you so much for giving us the time.